Welcome back to our Miami Hurricanes football preview as we get set for the 2026 season. And I am delighted to introduce the guy that needs no introduction, Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, coming off a historic, memorable season last year. I know you finished one game short of where you wanted to be, but as you try to turn the page and think about what's ahead, what stands out most?
Well, progress, improvement, validation of a lot of hard work, and then a lot more hard work to do and a lot more to accomplish. So all in all, just a lot of momentum generated right now, and we're looking forward to getting this thing going again.
Coach, one of the things with the season that you've had and the culture that you've built there is bringing in those transfers. You have another top-tier transfer class coming in. How difficult is it to kind of bring them into you guys as coach and convert them?
Well, I mean, they have to be attracted to what we do and how we do things, and I think we have the exact blend that you need to have a successful college football team. And by that I mean we have a small number of junior college players and we have a large number of high school players. And then we go and we recruit and try to bring in portal players that can make a significant impact. And lately, luckily, we have found some portal players that have multiple years to them. So it's like really recruiting another freshman as well. So I'm not saying we have all the answers. I would never claim to do that. But the blend of that combination has really proven to be very effective for us. And our guys know what they want to do. They want to win. And to win, we have to have really, really good players and good coaching and good culture. And so far they've been really pleased with it, and they're willing to do whatever it takes.
It was a shorter offseason than years past, but that was a good thing. Coming out of spring ball, what are your impressions of this year's team? What's different about them?
Well, we'll find out, right? I mean, I never at this time of year claim this team is this or this team is that. What I like to measure, of course, is level of talent, level of commitment, level of physicality, and how hard do they work. And this group, a lot like last year's group, you can't work them hard enough. Like whatever you throw at them, they're gonna eat it, they're gonna take it, they're gonna ask you for more. So I love that part about it. And then we're trying to establish levels of consistency, you know what I mean, where we constantly get better and better and better. But just all in all, a team that has been around last year's team. They know last year's team, that belongs to the 25 guys. The 26 crew, they practice with those guys. We had 39 of our 41 new players practicing with us for those last 3.5 weeks. So they have an idea of what it should look like on a daily basis. And that's a good jump start to what we're trying to do with them. But all in all, it's a brand new team, brand new season. We got a lot of work to do, and it's about being 1-0 at everything we do.
Coach, the headliner for the squad, Darian Mensah, coming over at quarterback. Is he the missing piece? But if he's not, what does he bring to the table that you feel like really makes him special?
Man, those are a lot of questions. we got to play some games. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what. We were in the market for a transfer portal quarterback, and when he hopped in the portal, I mean, he checked all the boxes. We went after him. And he has not disappointed. In fact, he's exceeded his expectations as a human being, as a teammate, as a competitor. His football IQ, his level of just commitment, his work ethic is off the charts, and he galvanizes people. He's been great, and he can make every throw. He can extend plays. He can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you with his arm. He understands protections. He understands the run game. He's been awesome. He's a great person to be around, tremendous personality.
Your defense was so dynamic last year. A couple of guys, more than a couple of guys playing on Sundays, a couple of first-round picks. How does the defense shift heading into 2026?
Well, we do have a system, but we always adapt. And I think that's been probably the biggest contributor to the success of both Shannon Dawson and Corey Heatherman. There you go. These guys, they're adaptable, and they understand that it's still players over plays. We have some base schemes, but we always adjust it to what we have. And every team is different. Now, mind you, I know every year when you have really good players, they're going to move on. But we started the recruitment process and the replacement process of Ruben Bain, of CeCe Mainoa, of Akeem Mesidor. We started that 3 years ago. We knew those guys were going to be really good and really missed at some point in time. So let's go find out about these new guys.
Coach, Malachi Tony, Cooper Barcade, Mark Fletcher. I mean, just talk about the potential of those skill guys and how good they could be.
The best part about them is they want to be challenged throughout the entire summer and training camp. They want to get better. They really don't want to spend any time talking about past accomplishments, statistics and all that data. They want to get better and they want to go win. So having them, having their leadership skills, their intent on a daily basis is they're just purpose-driven guys. They change the demeanor of a culture, they change the demeanor of a locker room, and they're probably the ones making all that noise outside now. They are fun to be around.
When you look back at last year, what is your biggest takeaway about what clicked down the stretch for you to get where you got?
I mean, we're a callous operation. You know, our rep count is pretty high as it relates to practice and player development. And I think what happened was, you know, at some point in time, we were hurting ourselves in the form of pre-snap penalties and the form of turnovers. And, you know, the margins in this game are really small. Everybody has good players. The hardest thing to get 18, 19, and 20-year-old guys to convince themselves of is that everybody has good players. And if you're not on your A game, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get beat. And we slipped, you know, and it wasn't a matter of effort or a matter of time invested. The details were not to the level they needed to be. So we learned grit, we learned toughness, we learned togetherness, we learned what it is to galvanize as an operation when the whole world's throwing dirt over your grave, right? Because everybody had buried us, we were done. And I think they found a lot of power in that. They found themselves galvanized by positive anger, and it ended up really propelling us to that postseason.
Coach, you're one of the teams that was able to, you know, win 4 games, start in the first round of the college football playoffs, and get all the way to the championship. What was the biggest thing that you took away as a coach from that journey?
You know, I would say your practice preparation equals your game reality. And when I say that, I don't mean the week of practice. I mean everything you do from January all the way through. It all shows up, right? Because you have to be healthy. What's going to show up in the form of health? 8 times out of 10, it's going to be what you did in the offseason, what you trained your bodies to be able to withstand, right? I also learned that your competitive depth is more important than so-called quality depth. Our guys truly competing against each other to become that guy, because those guys all played. Marquise Lightfoot was in for critical downs against Ohio State. Third Scroggins was in for critical downs against Texas A&M. Armando Blunt was in on every critical down in every game. These are the guys that now take center stage. So learned a lot, still learning, and looking forward to learning more.
Coach, I heard you had a message for Michael Irvin to not kiss you on national TV.
Yes.
What is your other message to all the other Hurricane fans out there on the eve of the 2026 season?
Let's keep coming together. I mean, that's the way it rolls. You know, it's always, you know, if you're a Miami Hurricane, and, you know, we all know those 80s and 90s and then 2001, it was, we were edgy. And so when we had success, it was awesome. And then the last 20 years, the whole world turned on us. I mean, even some of our own turned on us. And now as we are progressing and getting better again, now it's time to be stronger and tougher than ever and come together and just flat out bring it. You know, it's always been us against everybody. And that's the way it needs to be. Take pride in that, bring it, let's go.
I know there are a lot of expectations, but I'm sure you embrace them and are looking forward to fulfilling them. Coach,
ours are higher than anybody else's, always will be.
I can imagine. We really appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck this fall. Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the Canes.